Good morning, folks, and welcome back to Wishwell Farms, and happy Friday. My name is Jason. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we're harvesting all kinds of crops. We're going to start off with picking up some cantaloupes. Then we're going to come over here to our tomato patch, and we did things a little differently this week in our tomatoes, and I'll show you here in a second. As you can see behind me, our old cantaloupe patch number 1 has been mowed down. Our seedless watermelons have been mowed down. Those are all harvested. We're probably 2/3 of the way through harvesting cantaloupe patch number 2, and then we'll be moving into patch number 3, our final patch of the season. I'm hoping those come on just in time for Labor Day weekend, which is next weekend. It's approaching quickly. We're going to be picking eggplant, red tomatoes, yellow tomatoes, Roma tomatoes. We harvested bell peppers yesterday. And if we have time, we're going to pick up our candy onions and get them out of the field and up into the barn. So the way we harvested our tomatoes yesterday is we went through all the plants and just picked out the number 1 tomatoes, mediums and larges, and made piles at about every other stake. So those are all number 1 tomatoes ready to be boxed up. And as you can see, the tomato plants are looking very rough. They are winding down quickly. About 95% of them have turned red. They got blight and who knows what else. But that's all right. They still produced a good crop. We've harvested a lot of tomatoes off of them. So these were all picked yesterday and the day before. We lined them all up into piles, and then we drove down the road and threw all of our boxes out, and now we're just filling the boxes, and we'll stack them alongside the road, and then we'll pick them all up and put them on the flatbed wagon. We like to face our stems up instead of upside down like most people do. I guess it's a habit I've gotten into from picking the hydroponic tomatoes. We always face the hydroponic tomatoes up because in the hydroponic industry, it's common to leave the stem on. Even though we remove our stems, hydroponics are just always faced up. So we do our field tomatoes the same way. I just feel like when you pack them upside down, there's too much risk of the top of the tomato getting blemished. And every customer is going to pick it up off the table, and if they see any blemishes on the top of the tomato, they put it back. So I feel they last longer stacking them this way. Really nice tomatoes. Look at those beauties. Tomato packing's going pretty good. Just about filled up except for this stack here. And there goes our mobile produce trailer off to Marysville. All right, we're loading up our candy onions now. We just decided to grab them all and put them in these green tubs. So we're gonna fill all these tubs so we can stack them on a pallet, and we'll trim them up later. Since we're down to a skeleton crew now, I don't have enough hands to come out here and trim all these for a couple hours and then crate them up in the field to bring them up to the barn. So we're gonna try to do this quickly this way, and then we can trim them up at the barn even on a rainy day. A lot of smalls and mediums, but we got some normal size ones as well. They're good and dry. Things have been going pretty good this morning. We're just about finished up with morning harvest. It's about 11 a.m. We ended up getting 90 boxes of field tomatoes, mostly red, a few yellow, and a few Roma. They look really nice. Unfortunately, we only ended up with 20 crates of onions. I was hoping for 30, 40, or 50. But it is what it is. At least we got some. Zucchinis are going downhill fast. Only 4 measly tubs of zucchini. Only enough for one market. Fortunately, I have 10 or 12 in the cooler, so I hope I have enough to divvy up on all the trucks. Otherwise, I'll have to start shorting some of the smaller markets and making sure the big ones get zucchini and cucumbers and all the other stuff. We're nearing the end of our watermelon harvest. This is not quite all of them. I think I have 2 more bins left in the tomato cooler, but we're hoping to sell most of these this weekend. And here's our 2 bins of cantaloupe that we got today. They look really nice, but they're dirty. We still have to send them through the washer. As soon as the crew comes up from the field, we'll get those washed and we'll pretty much be done for the day. They're currently picking 8 tubs of eggplant, and even those are getting harder and harder to find. They're getting smaller and there's fewer of them. Things are definitely starting to wind down, and some of the crops are looking really rough. They've kind of run their course. It's just the normal part of the growing cycle. You know, we get towards the end of August, coming into Labor Day, and especially with these cooler nights that we've had, it's kind of finishing things off a little earlier than normal, but that's fine with me. After Labor Day, I'm ready to start focusing on winter squash and onions and broccoli and cauliflower, some of those fall things. But that is also when produce demand increases, because the same thing is happening in everybody's gardens that grows their own food, and they're starting to run out of stuff, and the demand for our produce will increase. But unfortunately, we never have enough to go around because it also decreases for us. So I'm gonna start loading trucks with tomatoes and go through everybody's supplies that they have on those trucks to make sure they're good to go for Saturday farmers markets, and then head in for lunch. So if you're wondering why I don't just roll an entire pallet in there, instead of picking all these up, moving them onto the tailgate, and then moving them again into the back of the truck, it's because there's just not room for multiple pallets of produce in there. The produce is all in the cooler, most of it, on pallets, and each truck doesn't get an entire pallet of something, you know, an entire pallet of zucchini or an entire pallet of cucumbers. It might get several pallets of corn, but still it's easier to slide the corn off, and it takes up less space because I can stack it differently in the back of the truck. So kind of like the game of Tetris. If I just put 6 pallets in there, it wouldn't all fit because I'm stacking things really tall and filling the nooks and crannies and stuff. So that's why I do it like that. But this time of year, when we have 10 different items on the trucks, I have to stack it all in there a little differently than I would than just rolling pallets in there. Man, you got a bunch of big ones in here. Holy moly. You think that's the biggest one?
Probably.
We'll see if this one is. Here, let's go weigh these two right here. Got a scales on in here in the market. At 0, 15 pounds. Exactly. Let's see what that one is. I think 17 pounds is our record. We might have had a 20 pounder before. Ah, mine was bigger. Mine was 15.07. That's 15.03. That's a big melon. Good morning. Obviously, it's the next day. Time to finish loading trucks and trailers for Saturday farmers markets. It's 4:30 a.m. Let's get started. I feel like our cooler is not near as full as normal. I mean, obviously this side's kind of empty because we've already loaded our cucumbers, zucchini, eggplant, peppers. So the only thing left to load this morning is about 140 tubs of sweet corn and most of those green beans back there, probably 30 some bushels of green beans, our salsa, and then most of these items here will be topped off and put on our trailer. So for these farmers markets today, we're a little short on product. I had to short everybody several tubs of sweet corn because we're kind of in between patches right now. And unfortunately, I don't think next week is going to be much better coming into Labor Day weekend. We're coming into the sweet corn patch that died, that got killed by spray. I talked about it in a prior video. Anyway, we still have one good patch to pick out of, but I'm pretty sure we're only going to get about 300 or 400 dozen out of it, and we need 700 or 800 dozen. So I don't know what we're going to do yet. That's yet to be seen. Anyway, time to get this stuff on the trucks and get this morning rolling. All right, I got everything rolled out of the cooler that's going on the 4 box trucks. Looks like a lot, but it's actually quite a bit less than I normally put on. All right, this truck leaves in 1 hour. Let's get it loaded. Last year, on this day, we sold 70 tubs of corn. Normally I need 50, so I'm pretty sure we're gonna sell out early this morning. Probably by 11 a.m., but it is what it is. All right, we got one more skid to put in here, and then we'll move on to the next truck. Well, we gotta get beans and melons put on here. Get this one completely done, and then move on to the next truck. By the way, if you were curious about how many dozen these tubs hold, they hold 4 dozen each. So that day that we sold 70 tubs last year, that was 280 dozen. But like I said, today I only have 40 tubs available for that truck. So that's gonna be 160 dozen, quite a bit less. That's all right. That should get us through most of the market. All right, our 40 tubs of corn is on the Worthington truck. And I'm doing something a little bit different today that I don't do very often with that truck because of lack of space. Normally, they only have room for 1 bin of melons, and I'll split the bin. I'll give them like the 50 watermelon like you see here. Man, it's an ugly melon. Gee, Christmas. Eaten up by cucumber beetles. You know, majority of them have a little spot on them from being gnawed on by cucumber beetles, but they're still really, really good melons. And you know, you can see they're medium size. Jumbo watermelons don't go as well at the farmers markets because people have to carry them. Now the hardcore shoppers that come there to buy all of their food for the week, you know, they will bring like carts and wagons and things like that, but the average person wants a small melon that they can carry in a bag. So we found that the smaller melons go well. So I'm kind of glad we have medium-sized melons. What's not medium-sized are these cantaloupes. Look at these gargantuan. I mean, they're massive. And we weighed, that might be one of the ones we weighed yesterday that was 15 pounds. They're huge. There's probably not even 50 melons in that bin. So, since they're only getting 40 tubs of corn, I have room to put 2 bins in there today. So they're gonna get 1 full bin of these giant cantaloupe, and I guess it's about a half bin of the seedless watermelon. I'm gonna put this pallet up on top of the seedless watermelon and then put their 2 stacks of green beans right on top. And I'll wrap it so they can't slide off. And that'll save us a lot of space in that truck trying to squeeze in the green beans. And then when they get there, they'll just have to offload the green beans, and then, you know, they'll have plenty of room in the truck after they unload everything to set up their stand. And they can just set the green beans aside. This truck is getting 13 bushels of beans, regular green beans, and 1 bushel of yellow wax beans. And then we're done with the yellow wax. There's no more yellow wax or purple beans the rest of the season, just green beans for about another month. Do that too many times in a row, you get dizzy. Whew. All right, we got our 14 beans on there, and I'm gonna leave the yellow one open so my son sees that, just in case I forget to tell him there's a yellow one in there. Well, I'll get it up as far as I can with the forklift up against the wall, and then we'll shove it in the rest of the way with the cantaloupes. Just gotta throw in his salsa and that truck's ready to roll. All right, he has 5. When I say he, my brother Joel. By the way, I have 2 brothers, John and Joel. And Joel's my youngest brother. He's the one that does the garlic, salsa, relish, maple syrup. Joel's always been here helping me since he was, almost able to walk. And he's gotten married and had kids all in the last 3 years or so, 3 or 4 years. So, and he kind of stepped into the grain operation side of things on the farm. So he's really busy with that, and he doesn't help me near as much, but he does use all my market outlets to sell his items that he produces in our commercial kitchen. And that brings up another point. Many of you are patiently waiting to see our commercial kitchen. I promise you it's coming. So we got 1 cooler for each truck and for 1 of the trailers. We do not put salsa on our big satellite trailer. I think it's just because it's a big hassle to load fresh salsa on there every day. So it only goes on the 1 small trailer going to our hometown farmers market because that's a once a week deal. And he likes to only make salsa once a week. All right, this truck's good to go. All right, I'm not gonna bore you with loading the next 3 box trucks. It's the exact same process as the first one, but I will bring you back at daylight to load the 2 trailers before they head out to market in 3, 2, 1. All right, I'm back. It's 7 a.m. The sun has come out. A little bit overcast, but boy, it is comfortable out. What a beautiful day for a farmer's market. So this is the trailer that I just finished packing. It was still dark mostly when I was packing it. I will show you some more detail on packing this one, but I'll give you a quick walk around on this trailer. We got jumbo cantaloupe today. I had to put these little wax box barriers in here to keep all the melons in because my sideboard's not quite high enough. It should be a couple inches higher. So yeah, those things are beautiful. So we can definitely get $6 out of those. And the watermelon are actually smaller than the cantaloupe. That's kind of rare. We got our field tomatoes with a few extra underneath. Uh-oh. What happened? Hey. Oh no. Yeah. Did it go in the limp mode or did it What in the world? I don't know what to do about that. I mean, Josh ran the code on it. Keep me posted. Let me know if it keeps doing it. He's not even here next weekend to look at it. He's going to be gone, so hopefully it gets you there and back. Maybe we better sell that truck. Yeah. Fortunately, it was nothing too serious, but whenever I get a phone call early in the morning, like at 7 a.m., that means there's probably an issue because that's when all the trucks are driving to Columbus. I don't like to hear from people at 7 a.m. It's never good. Excuse me. So, two things I want to share real quick. We had a new girl come today that goes to my brother's church to help fill in because we were short-staffed. And she wasn't here yet, and it was time to go. It was 6:40. I was going to give her like 2 more minutes, and then I was going to send the truck on with someone else and just swap people around. Then she pulled in, so fortunately she made it on time. But I called my brother to let him know, hey, Kayla's not here yet. And he sounded like death when he answered the phone. I could tell he was in bed. I was like, are you asleep? And he goes, yeah, my alarm didn't go off. It was like 2 minutes before he was supposed to be here to leave for Columbus, and he was still in bed. He got here on time, though. I mean, he got dressed and drove right down the road a half mile and got in the truck, and off they went. So fortunately, that all worked out. The other thing is there's like a little indicator box. It looks like an aftermarket little, I don't even know how to describe it, little electrical box with lights on it, like 6 or 9 lights to warn you if something's going bad with the truck. And it starts beeping real fast and goes into limp mode, and he has to pull over, shut the truck off, start it back up, and it's good to go. And the little light, indicator light that flashes and beeps, looks like a coolant level light, but we've checked the coolant level numerous times. Maybe it's a bad thermostat, but the truck never overheats. There's 2 thermostats on those NPR, Isuzu NPR trucks, so maybe one of those thermostats is going bad. It did happen on one of the other trucks, but it never made that light beep and make the truck go in the limp mode. So I'm at a loss at what that is. My mechanic hasn't dove into it too much, but we did run a scanner on it to see see if there's any codes in it. But yeah, if you guys have any idea what that could be, let me know. I know I didn't describe that very well, but that's all I got time to talk about that this morning. It's time to get back to work here. Okay, I'm going to show you this trailer real quick. We got extra corn in the back, an extra tub of watermelon, 2 extra tubs of cantaloupes, our salsa, maple syrup and garlic, our starter corn, starter tomatoes. It's an extra box or 2 underneath, more corn underneath. There's all of our cantaloupe and watermelon. You already saw those. 3 bushels of beans, peppers, and we're starting to get some really nice red peppers. Oh, they're beautiful. Zucchini and eggplant, and we're out of cucumbers. And I just remembered I don't have green tomatoes on this trailer yet. Let's run down and grab a box. All right, I'm down here in our 1 new row of tomatoes, no strings or stakes. I did this one Veggie Boy style, and they look really nice. I just need to get a handful of big green tomatoes. This must be the BHN 964. That's why they have these points. See how the tomatoes are kind of pointed. Now I remember what I didn't like about that variety. Don't really like the shape of them. But they're nice and big, that's for sure. Just need a couple more here. All right, let's get this up in the trailer. Nikki is here, the lady running the trailer, and we need to get her on the road. First trailer hitting the road. Time to get busy on the big one. The Country Peddler Trailer. That's what these are called. So I've had a lot of people interested in these trailers. Let me get you in some better light here. You can't even see me. I've addressed these trailers numerous times in the past, probably in 5 or 6 different videos. But I'm constantly getting emails, Facebook Messenger comments, YouTube comments about these trailers. Where do they come from? So the canopy and the steel come from Rainbow Industries in Springfield, Ohio. It's called the Country Peddler. They make one for a utility trailer, for a flatbed wagon, and a smaller one for the back of a pickup truck. I don't have the current pricing. However, I've actually had several people want me to build one for them. Or, they want to know where they can get them, and I offer that I could possibly build one and deliver it. I built my first one probably almost 15 years ago. I don't know the current pricing, but I'm going to get it. I'm hoping I can get a little bit of a discount on the kit because I've sent a lot of business their way. I don't know current pricing on the material to build all the shelving out or what utility trailers are. So I got a lot of legwork to do on my side to figure this all out. But I would be interested in building some of these out and delivering them for farmers who are interested. So if you are, hit me up in the comments and I'll get back with you as soon as I can. The final skid of corn in my cooler for today. Last 20 tubs going on this trailer out here, and then a few other items, and I'll be done for this morning and be able to go in and have a cup of coffee and relax a little bit with my wife before doing a little YouTube video editing. I can fit quite a bit of corn in this trailer. 3, 6, 9, 12. I can put 12 extra tubs down here, and then our starter corn can be up to 8 on top. So just in the trailer alone, with all the other produce as well, I can still get 20 tubs. If we're over 20 tubs, I'll just put some in the back of the pickup truck. Sometimes 6 or 10 tubs. But today, all we got is 20, so it'll all fit in the trailer. Unfortunately, I only have 4 boxes of peaches for today and a partial box of really soft, almost bad peaches. But it's that time of the year. Local Ohio peaches have finished up. Orchards are moving into their apple crops now. I can still get peaches from either Michigan or Pennsylvania for next week, one more week. I always try to have peaches through Labor Day weekend. Just wrapping up the trailer packing. 2 extra bushels of beans. And this tub is mixed 3 ways. Cucumber, zucchini, and more peppers up on top. I think the customers are going to really appreciate the red peppers. This is our first week of having any kind of quantity of fully red peppers. It's our best pepper crop I've ever grown in 25 years I've been doing this. My best pepper crop, by far. Unbelievable size and quality. I don't know what I did different. Just perfect weather conditions. Maybe I irrigated a little bit more. I don't know. Boy, is it always a great feeling knowing that all the trucks and trailers are either at market or en route to market. It's a huge weight off my shoulders. And now I can relax a little bit, clean a few things up in the barn, and get ready for all these trucks to return here at around 1 p.m. this afternoon. Unfortunately, since I am not at the farmers markets myself, I can't do any filming of the farmers markets. I rely on my employees or my brother or just all the workers and staff there at the markets to do the filming for me with their iPhones. And you know, we've done it a little bit in the past, but it's a real big pain in the butt trying to get all that footage from them and reminding them when they're busy to try to do some filming. So that's why you don't see a lot of footage at farmers markets. Now for 20 years I went to markets myself, but for the last 5 or 6 I haven't been able to, just because we've kind of expanded to the point where I have to stay here to load things, put out fires, because there's just so much going on. There's so many moving parts with an operation of our size. Even though we're pretty small compared to a lot of big growers out there, as we are one of the bigger farmers market growers. We do a lot of farmers markets. Well, I think this is where we're going to wrap this one up, folks. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed the content, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. And I'll see y'all again real soon down the farm.